Hi, my name is Dante McCoy, and this is my presentation on Chapter 12 of Carl Jung and Alfred Adler. Alfred Adler was born right outside of Vienna, Austria. He was the second of 7 children born of a Hungarian grain merchant and his wife. In 1895, Adler received a medical degree from the University of Vienna. He married and in 1897 had 4 children, 2 of which became psychiatrists. Their children included writer, psychiatrist, and socialist activist Alexandra Adler, psychiatrist Kurt Adler, writer and activist Valentine Adler, and Cornelia Nellie Adler. Adler contracted rickets at an early age, and he was not able to walk until the age of 4. His early health problems led him to his calling as a physician. In 1902, Sigmund Freud invited him to join a psychoanalytic discussion group. The group met frequently in Freud's home and would eventually come to be known as the Vienna Psychoanalytic Society. After serving as the society's president for a few years, Adler left the society due to his disagreements with Freud. Though he was one of the most influential figures in the development of psychoanalysis, he was also one of the first to break away and form his own school of thought. In 1912, Alfred Adler founded the Society of Individual Psychology. Adler's theory suggested that every person has a sense of inferiority. From childhood, people work toward overcoming this inferiority by asserting their superiority over others. Adler called this striving for superiority, and he believed that this drive was the motivating force behind human behaviors, emotions, and thoughts. Adler's theories have influenced many psychologists such as Abraham Maslow, Carl Rogers, Karen Horney, and Albert Ellis. In the 1930s, the Nazis shut down his and he emerged to the U.S. Adler died May 28, 1937. Carl Gustav Jung was born in Keswil, Switzerland, to father Paul Achilles Jung, a pastor, and mother Emily Prieswerk. At 12, Jung was pushed to the ground so hard by another classmate that he lost consciousness. After that, he frequently fainted. His parents and doctors thought he might have epilepsy. After Jung overheard his father confessing his concerns that his son would never be able to work and support himself, Jung developed a renewed focus on academics. His newfound focus and determination led him to become a physician, and he later explained his experience with fainting as his first encounter with neurosis. Jung chose to study medicine with an emphasis on spiritual phenomena while in school. Jung saw psychiatry as a combination of his 2 interests. In 1902, he completed his doctoral dissertation titled On the Psychology and Pathology of So-Called Occult Phenomena, and graduated from the University of Basel with a medical degree. Jung met Freud in 1907, and the two became good friends. His time spent working with Sigmund Freud had a major impact on Jung's later theories and helped him develop a fascination for the unconscious mind. Their friendship began to fall apart after Jung started to develop his own ideas that diverged from Freud's views. Eventually, Jung separated from Freud, rejecting Freud's emphasis on sex as the sole source of behavior motivation. Jung became increasingly interested in dreams and symbols. Jung began to form his own theories and broke from psychodynamic theories to form his own theory called analytical psychology. Jung devoted the next 6 years to exploring his own subconscious. He recorded his findings in a book called The Red Book, which was only recently published in 2009. Jung believed the human psyche exists in three parts: the ego, the conscious mind, the personal unconscious, and the collective unconscious. Jung believed the collective unconscious was a reservoir of all the experience and knowledge of the human species. Jung also believed that the process of individuation was essential in order for a person to become whole and fully developed as a human being. Individuation is a process in which the various parts of a person, including the conscious and unconscious, become completely integrated so that the individual becomes his or her true self. Carl Jung's work left a notable impact on psychology. His concepts of introversion and extroversion have contributed to personality psychology and also influenced psychotherapy. Adler and Jung pioneered the way for modern psychology. Their contributions have influenced countless other psychologists, and the tenacity they each displayed in breaking away from the Freudian mold to search for their own theories are what make them the accomplished psychiatrists we know them as today. The countless things they have given the world, such as Jung's contributions to creation of Alcoholics Anonymous, have helped millions of people in